Well, hello, hello, hello. My name is Angela Odom, and I am the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast. I'm also the founder of the Better You Project, the brand itself. And today's topic is how to deliver bad news, like things you should consider when delivering bad news. Things you should consider when delivering bad news. Because no matter how great and wonderful things are right this minute, then guess what? At some point, you're going to have to convey, talk through, share some news that is not so positive, right? Hey, Carrie. Hey, Carrie. And so you want to be able to convey or deliver or share bad news in a way, right? In a way, in a manner that is fitting in the way you carry yourself, who you say you are, especially if you are in a managerial or supervisory position. You want to be able to um, respectfully, respectfully deliver bad news or not so good news. And so today I just want to welcome you to the live recording of the Better You Leadership podcast itself. Again, my name is Angela Odom, and I've had to deliver some extraordinarily difficult and bad news over my lifetime, right? And I know that you have also had to do that. And so, sometimes you're delivering bad news to your children. You said no. Maybe bad news to them, or within your work environment, you might be delivering difficult, uncomfortable news, having uncomfortable conversations with people with news that is not going to be pleasing or might not even be beneficial to them. And so, in your workspace, you might have to deliver bad news or difficult news to clients or to customers. And so, let's talk through what that looks like. So early, I think I may have been, I was still in college and I was had to deliver the news of a death of someone to a group of people. And I was not prepared uh, for the feedback for each individual person's feedback as they were hearing the news from me, from my lips about um, the loss, the significant loss, right? And I've had people to deliver news to me of someone who had passed away. And it is jarring. Also had to, deliver news to people, share news face to face with people that, telling them that they would not be returning to the workplace, that they had to be let go, or that the position that they held no longer required their service based on their performance, or just to sit across the table with someone and give um, pointed feedback on their failed performance, right? Or someone who I, did the paperwork for while I was in the army, did paperwork for someone to be court-martialed. And so those things, and so it doesn't have to be something so life-changing as we're talking about sharing, conveying bad news, some things that you should consider. One of the things I have come to realize is um, when we are considering sharing the news or talking to someone, we're framing it, the situation a certain way based on the way we see it, right? Based on the way we see whatever the circumstances are, we're framing it. We want to be able to have context around the situation so that as you're talking to someone, then you have shared context as opposed to the way you are framing it. Hope that makes sense. And so some things to consider is you do want to be prepared. You want to consider what's a possible feedback or questions that might come up. You want to prepare yourself for people to cry, to scream, to be angry, to be uncomfortable. You want to prepare yourself for that if you're sharing bad news. And if you're in a situation, we're in a volatile times, right? And so if you're in a situation where it even crosses your mind that it might, the person receiving the news might actually harm you physically or harm others physically, then you want to make sure you prepare for that, right? And you don't want to joke around. You don't want to joke around. Sometimes you're delivering bad news, you're cracking jokes. That could come off as rude or disrespectful or just tone deaf, right? So it might be, difficult. So you might want to just lighten the mood and put in some humor. Well, it's not appropriate. So don't joke around. You want to give the employee or other person the opportunity to speak their mind, right? And so you also want to consider the time of day that you are delivering the news. I was in Colorado last week. Yeah, last week I was in Colorado for 10 days. And I heard the story of a person, a friend of mine actually, was in a restaurant and the service was horrible. The service was horrible, right? Um, and so she asked for, um, she walked up to the counter. She's like, "Can I talk to somebody? I'm not getting service. The person is really being short, and I'm just trying to eat." And so it turns out that when the employee arrived that morning, she was told that that was the last day that she was being fired, let go. And so you have to think about the time of day. Think about that. So perhaps end of day, or why not just go ahead and end that relationship before she does something, incredibly harmful to the company's reputation, right? And so you want to consider those things, the time of day, and allowing the person to have, speaking their mind, understanding when you tell them and what that looks like. And you really don't want to beat around the bush. You want to maintain your composure, but you want to want to get to the point, be clear and be concise. And, definitely if you're letting someone go, you want to, talk through what that looks like, especially if it's going to be, if you anticipate that it might be volatile, right? But either way, with people's um, mindset, their financial situation, you don't know what that might be. Sometimes people look like the big ballers when indeed they are not, right? A lot of people counting on whatever amount of money that's supposedly coming in. So for me, when I was in the Army, of course, totally different. But now that I'm out, I work with a lot of freelancers, and just a courtesy. I believe it is a courtesy to circle back to someone and say, um, "Hey, I know I reached out to you, but I'm not going to use you during this time period. Working on something else. I chose somebody else. Because you might just cast a big net, which means sometimes I reach out to several people and say, "Hey, I'm working on this project and I'm looking for this particular skill set. Are you able to help me out?" And then in the meantime, I may have sent that same message to four people, like I did that a couple of weeks ago. And so then I settled on one person. I circled back to the other three to let them know, "Hey, I'm not going to use you. I've decided to work with someone else." And the feedback, I think two of the three said, "Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. Look forward to working with you on a future project." Blah, blah, blah. The third one did not respond one way or the other, and that's okay. And so, that's a small thing, but that's bad news. And I did have on a different project, I did have someone to um, really react much different than I thought they would. They were really upset. So, how do you deliver bad news? Things to consider. That's what we're talking about today. And you don't want to, along with being vague and all that kind of stuff, being coy. Um, you want to make sure you understand that on the other side of this conversation is a real human being, and you want to treat them with empathy and respect, no matter how you feel about them personally or what your own biases are, what what you're going through in your life, what they might have done. I'm not saying coddle them, but I'm saying, yeah, don't be mean and nasty. It's going to come back to you, right? And things you might want to um, also consider is um, your honesty. And I was struck, honesty, and also just uh, random comments that people make. As you're talking to someone, keep your other opinions to yourself. And if you want to tell them how this situation, they might be getting fired or let go. So you don't want to go on a tirade about um, their appearance, and they, unless that is why they're being let go. you know you don't want to go into a tirade or some um, launch your own personal opinion about what else they need to do. And you don't want to make any promises about if they do A, B, and C, then they might be reinstated or allowed to come back. You don't want to do any of those things. Don't get caught up. Stay focused. You've expressed your empathy. You have delivered the news. Um, then you might want to be prepared for them to shoot the messenger, right? Um, and I'm not saying like, with a weapon, I'm saying with their mouth, verbally being angry. And you want to understand that whatever they're saying to you is not about you, and don't take the bait, right? And just think about how you might feel if someone was preparing this news for you, whether it could be anything about maybe you have been on a project, a member of a project team, and you're being told that you're going to be taken off of that project, that you want to your leaders, the decision makers, have decided that you should work on something different. To you, it might be seen as a slight, or you might take it a different way, but you want to just think about how you are conveying that news, taking that person off of that project. Could be something as simple as that. Or in some cases, as the world is opening up, some people might consider it bad news that they're having to go back into the office. And so, again, same thing. You want to be able to uh, convey the information. Um, in the next 15 days, we will be having people come back into the office, and you'll come back on whatever date. And then you just keep it moving. No other comments. Other words, as I often say, shut your big old mouth, right? Meaning all that extra comments, all those, um, talking to people as if you are, if you have some level of intimacy with them, as if they have the certain same amount of investment you have into your position. Investment, right? So just keep it moving, right? And you want to, if it is appropriate, apologize genuinely, and then you can um, offer whatever solutions at that point. But you want to make sure you be considerate, stick to the facts. And I've also heard people talk about like the sandwich kind of thing, right? When you're a technique to deliver a difficult message. You layer that thing with good news, and then you deliver the difficult message, and then you end it with positive news. So just to be clear, either way, that needs to be short, and you need to be consistent with that. You still need to convey empathy, and you want to be honest, right? Be honest, and don't make any big old promises, big old pronouncements. Make sure the space that you're talking to these people in, or this person in, is not with a whole bunch of people in it. You don't need an audience for that, right? And you don't want to, have it in a place where other people can hear you if that is, not appropriate. So you want to think about, if you were in that person's shoes, what would that look like to you? So just wanted to share with you just my take on things to consider when delivering bad news, right? When delivering bad news, and that could be being delivered to your family, right? Hey, Melissa, how you doing? Yeah, you might be delivering bad news to family members, to coworkers, to your direct reports. You might be delivering bad news to your manager, right? To the person that you report to. Could be delivering bad news to clients. And so that is the point, is to make sure that you would deliver it in a respectful, consistent, empathetic tone, that you are aware of where you're located, who is with you in the room or not, and don't be flippant, right? Delivering bad news. Don't be flippant. This is this is like real talk. So just consider those things. Be prepared. And with that said, I just wanted to, um, just pause a second and um, as you would do. You would pause as you deliver whatever the news might be, and you would pause and you would allow that person um, to provide feedback. It might be that whole thing of, don't shoot the messenger. So you're allowing them to give feedback at that point. They might have some questions, and then you want to end it. Don't let it drag on too long, right? You want to end it and not be abrupt, that kind of thing. But be professional. And if it's even with family members, you want to make sure you take in consideration what that feels like to them, right? I have a 16-year-old now, and it is interesting to me when I give news to him. Basically, he's not getting what he wants, whatever that might be. The feedback I get, allow him to say whatever it is, and then I said, "Okay, good talk, son." Sometimes I might say it like that, "Good talk," or "I appreciate the feedback," but no, that's not happening, right? And so just understand that on the other end of your mouth, your message is a human being with feelings, and with responsibilities, and with an ego, right? So there you go. So again, my name is Angela Odom, and I am the host of Better You Leadership Podcast, the founder of the Better You Project, the brand itself. And I teach women how to lead themselves, others, and how to manage processes. I just published a children's book. Let me get this right here for you. I just published a children's book, and I'm wondering if you've already gotten your copy, right? You already read it. Um, it's Gollum's Magical Gamers on Amazon right now in the ebook. It's in the paperback and the audio book version right this minute. So my name's Angela M. Odom. So just put that in, Odom, and go and get your copy. I will tell you this story really quickly before I close out. The other day, I received a message on the Facebook Messenger, right? And the message said, it was from a lady I don't know. She said, "Hey, I've ordered your book, your new book, your children's." She said, "I've ordered your book, and I cannot wait to read it to my third grade class." And I responded, "Oh, where are you located? Because I don't mind traveling, and so I might just pop up and read the story to your third grade students in person, right?" And she responded, "G.N. Smith Elementary." I said, "Hold up." So I literally typed back, "Hold up. You understand that I went to G.N. Smith Elementary?" So it was a third grade teacher from my hometown who was teaching at my former elementary school. Boom! So it was pretty cool. Anyway, we had a conversation back and forth on the Facebook Messenger, and we're going to make that happen. So that is good news. That's not a part of this delivering bad news, but that is good news. And so for the people, and we do have, for the people who have not gotten, you say, well, what, like 9 to 12-year-olds? I don't have no 9 to 12-year-olds in my life. Really? Yes, you do. Somewhere. The librarians do. The teachers do. the amazing aunties do. Yeah, you do. You have them somewhere. Anyway, so real leaders read. Let's start them reading early. And so there you go. Oh, Carrie says, wow, on the hometown front, homeschool link up. Homeschool, Carrie, you are always watching out for me. High five, bam. So with that said, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you wanted to get a signed copy of the paperback version, then of course you go to Angela Odom, angelaodom.com /books. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this opportunity to help children, right? Help that ease parents into the conversation of teamwork, communication, conflict, depression, and self doubt. That's what it's all about. With that said, you all have an amazing day. Today we talked about things to consider when delivering bad news. It's never going to get better with time. Never. It's never going to get better with time. So put on your big girl boots, panties, pants, whatever you get to do, and then be kind. All right, take care. You all have an amazing day. My name's Angela Odom, and as always, I'm rooting for you.